Tánaiste, a couple of weeks ago we saw a high-profile case in the courts where a man from Guyana named Randi Gladstone entered Ireland. He had 19 previous convictions in the UK for offences such as rape and false imprisonment. And then within a few days of his arrival here, he engaged in the same behaviour and he was just convicted for that and sentenced to 10 years in prison. And the question which this naturally led to for many people is, how was an individual who had a known record of serious crimes in our neighbouring jurisdiction allowed into the country, particularly given that he wasn't an EU citizen? I'm wondering, how does this happen in the context of vetting and so on?
Yeah, I'm not across the details, Ben. I don't want to mislead you, but I am generally aware that people who come into our country do have fingerprints taken, that they are run against EU systems and the likes, and I think it raises a very interesting and serious question. I don't want to say anything that cuts across any potential court proceedings.
But that case is resolved. He's been convicted and sentenced to 10 years, but in the Irish.
Any further legal actions, so I'm just being cautious in relation to that. But I take the point you make in relation to the importance of having full information in relation to everyone who comes into this country. I do remember being out visiting Dublin Airport and others and being made aware of the systems that people go through in terms of their fingerprints being taken and databases that their records are run through. And I do think, as the EU asylum pact goes in, I do think that offers a very important way forward in terms of the sharing of more information.
But do you not think it's a huge problem that instances like this are happening? You know, again, this was a very high-profile case. It generated a lot of discussion on social media, and we're told things like what you just told me, that, there's systems in place, we take people's fingerprints and so on, and then the Irish public open the media and they look at the newspaper and they see that people are being let into the country who have heinous convictions in our neighbouring jurisdiction. I mean, I would have thought that if there were robust systems in place, they would have caught this guy and people like him, because, of course, this is not the only case that we've seen like this.
No, I fully accept that does cause concern for people in this country, because obviously we want all our systems to be absolutely robust. It is important that the systems that I believe are in place and that I'm told are in place absolutely work and stand up to scrutiny. I take seriously the point that you make without truthfully being across all of the details in relation to that then. But the overwhelming majority of people who come to this country come here and are fine, upstanding individuals. And if there is a need to further tighten up any information sharing, I'm sure that's something that we will explore with the UK.
Okay,
very much,
everybody.
Thanks
so much.